So here we are in question 1, and we're asked to use this data that we're given at the top, and I use my snipping tool to take a picture of it so I wouldn't have to keep scrolling up and down. So this is the data that we're given over here on the right. The first step is to calculate cost of goods available for sale, cost of ending inventory, and cost of goods sold using LIFO. And so I'm going to fill in the top part of this table just using the data over here on the right. So I'll just transfer over the number of units in beginning inventory, the cost per unit for those units in beginning inventory. The purchases, you'll see we bought 315 at a price of $24 each. Then we bought 280 at 28 each. And then I added together these two purchases. And these are all units here, so number of individual units. These are costs per units, and these are total dollar amounts. So here's how many units we bought. Here's the total number of units we had available for sale, including the units at the beginning of the year in inventory, plus the units we purchased. And to get the total cost of goods available for sale, we'll add this cost of beginning inventory to the cost of our two purchases. So for parts 1A through 1D, you're going to fill in this first section exactly the same on all 4 of these parts. So it's the bottom section that's going to be different depending upon which method you're using. So if we're using the LIFO method, we're assuming the last goods in are the first goods we sold. In other words, we're going to assume that we sold first these June 30th units because we bought them last. They were the last goods in. And we have to account for a total of 465 units sold, 380 sold on April 1st, and 85 sold on August 1st. So we have to say, what did it cost us for those 465 total units that we sold? So I'm going to assume that we sold 200 and these 280 units first. And so I'm going to fill in this box first. 280, we sold all of them. And remember, they cost $28 each. And then I compare that number to the total number of units that I sold, 465. So we need to explain another 185 units, where those came from. Because see, these two numbers together add to the 465 units that we sold. So the next 185 that we sold came from the March 2nd purchase, because that was if we're going back in time here, this was the most recent one. This was the last one. Now let's move back in time and say we sold these units next. And the March 2nd purchase, those units cost 24. We can see that up here. So these units that we sold then cost $24. And when we add these together, we get to the total units sold, and those cost $12,280. So this is my cost of goods sold. And my ending inventory is the number of units I did not sell, which is the total that I had available minus the number I sold equals 360. And it's easy to get the cost of ending inventory. We simply take the total cost of goods available for sale and subtract cost of goods sold.